Did you see the story today about the Chinese missiles and military? And how many submarines they're buying and how many missiles they have and how they can just destroy everything here in America with their missiles? Do you really believe that that was an airplane contrail off the coast of California? Do you really believe that? Really?
No, I think it was a weather balloon.
Yeah. That was a two-staged missile. And don't take that from Glenn Beck. Take that from Glenn Beck, who knows an awful lot of people in the military. Who launched that missile? Do you think it's the military? I told you when that happened, I don't know enough about missiles. Oh, I do now. And I talked to some military experts that know all about missiles. What they're telling you on television is bullcrap. Really? That's an airplane. That's an airplane shooting right out of the water. That's an airplane. Why is it that it had the little flame at the end? Just like, I mean, I lived in Florida. I've seen space shuttles launch before. Come on. Two-stage missile. That's what that was. Now, who has that? Russia has that. Iran, maybe. Doubt it. Coming out of the water, shooting a missile is one thing. Coming out of the water is a whole different ball of wax. Oh, it could be us. Maybe we lost a missile. Oh, gee. Fred, did you just accidentally launch another missile from the sub? Yeah. Yeah, I sat on the control board again. That's not the way it works. You don't think that maybe there's a chance that China just wants to come out and just alert us, as our president was going over to negotiate with them and tell them, hey, you stop playing funny with your money. Really? Don't you think China would like to say to the president, really, you want us to stop playing with our money? Really? How about this scenario? Somebody says to one of the president's aides, not to a military person, because the military could never keep this secret. They just say to one of the presidential aides, hey, you guys should watch you guys should watch the skies. You just watch the skies over California. We're not going to do it in the middle of the night. They did it at 5 o'clock in the afternoon for a reason. 30 miles off the coast of California. All of a sudden, a contrail that looks awfully like a missile, but it's just a plane. It's probably a prop plane. You know what it is? It was probably some big, evil corporation crop dusting the dolphins. That's probably what it was, or the whales. That's probably, they hate it so much. They hate the environment so much. It's probably, I would believe that one. But an alternative scenario might be that China launches a missile to let everyone in the world, including the United States of America, and especially the President of the United States, know how impotent you are. Don't tell me what to do with the money. You didn't tell us what to do with the dog food. We were sending you poisoned dog food. By the way, China's a 1-year hard labor for somebody who had a tweet. Don't forget who these people are. They're communists. They wanted to number their people. Forget about the names. We'll just number them. It's the same regime. We just want you to know, Mr. President, that we can launch a missile, and we're not being aggressive because we're launching it away from you. We can launch a missile, we just want you to know, 30 miles off your coast, and you're so powerless you can't even tell the American people what it was. So don't tell us what to do with the money. You work for us. If you don't think somebody in the Chinese military is capable of doing that, you're out of your mind. And by the way, how about our own president? How about our own advisors? How about our own George Soros connections? The Liberal Center for American Progress doesn't believe significant GOP gains in the House or Senate should stop the president from implementing more of his policies. The group released a report on Tuesday suggesting ways Obama can bypass Congress to accomplish a progressive agenda, and it cites the president's power as commander-in-chief to make his point. Listen to this. I think most of the conversation since the election has been about President Clinton and President Obama and how he adjusts to the new situation on Capitol Hill, Center for American Progress head and former Bill Clinton Chief of Staff John Podesta told the Daily Caller. While it's an important conversation, are you listening to this? While it's an important conversation, it simply ignores the president's ability to use all levels of his power and authority to move the country forward. How does one move the country forward? In the center's report, Podesta explains that Obama can use executive orders, rulemaking, and even the armed forces to accomplish important change. Those are quotes.
What does that mean?
And that such means, quote, should not be underestimated. What is it what do you mean, powers to accomplish? Among others, the report suggests job creation, quality, affordable health care, sustainable security, and a clean energy future are the things that need to be done. And you can use the armed forces to, quote, accomplish these important changes? So what are you going to do about it? Well, here's a couple things. You can bury your head in the sand. That gets you nowhere. You could say, not in America. And that gets you nowhere, too. You could say, oh, you Republicans, you're all... Nah, go ahead, play that game all you want. Or you could start to use common sense. And you could realize that the world has changed. And that your country has changed. What you thought was solid is liquid. What you thought was liquid is now solid. What you thought you could trust, you no longer can. And that then you can go into panic if you wanted to. Or you could go to your guns if you wanted to. Both of those are dangerous and end the republic. Or you could go and be completely counterintuitive. You could be what everyone in their gut will dismiss, and this is why it will work. How did they do this to America? They did it because everyone dismissed it. Everyone said they never do that. That would never work. You can't do that. They did it right under your nose, and that's why it worked. So, what is counterintuitive? Fall to your knees and beg for God's help. You become a system. You become a network of shelters. Food prices are going to go up. People are going to be hungry. People are going to be afraid. The government is going to flex its muscles even more. This is what I told you before the elections. The reason why I spent very little time on the elections is because the elections were predestined. They did everything they could. They knew how the elections would come out. They knew it. They knew it. Don't worry about it. It was a setup. Now, what they didn't count on is that you'd have actual Tea Party people in there. So people who were actually standing for the Constitution, those people need to be reinforced. And you can do that. And you must do that. And you must stay engaged in the political situation. But you must also build an army of God. And I mean an army of God, not with guns, but with shields. We must shield each other. We must help each other. We must go the route of Gandhi. The only thing that will stop this, they will expose themselves for the hideous monsters that they are becoming. Whether they know it or not, I'm telling you, 99% of the people involved have no idea what they're involved in. It is not Republican versus Democrat. Most people don't have any idea. They're in as much denial on the left as they are on the right. You are talking about good versus evil. In the end, this is good versus evil. You must come together on good. You must.